Our power of belief is so powerful that Satan can't fulfill his plans for your life unless you come in agreement with his plans. Your belief in what he's doing in your life, you must come in agreement with the lie for it to come to pass. Ask yourself, or just meditate after this video is done, just ask yourself, like, what is a lie in my life that I've meditated on and I'm in agreement with, but it's based around fear or anxiety, condemnation or doubt. These things come from the devil, and God gives us three things to live by. He says faith, hope, and love. Out of these three, love is the greatest. But faith, hope, and love. Light is God's side. Darkness is the devil's side. Positivity, God. Negativity, the devil. Basic things like that. It's like, let's not entertain darkness and call it wisdom. Let's shun darkness and live by what God says to live by, which is faith, hope, and love. So believe the best, even in worst case scenario situations. That's what you're called to do. Move the mountain through prayer. Have faith, have hope. Even if the worst case scenario does come to pass, there's always resurrection or rebirth. Rebirth is I'll give you an example. A long time ago, when me and my wife, we were about to get married, we were committing to one another in terms of getting an apartment and all of this. We had many pets. We had 2 dogs, a cat, and a bird. We didn't have no kids at that time. We were newlyweds. We were about to get married, or we were just married. And we were kind of like talking about the future. We were living in a small little efficiency in the back of my grandmother's house. And, she was getting tired of it quick. It was just like, man, this sink is so small. I want more kitchen room, etc. So as we, I think we were there, about 3 years. And she, and the whole thing there has to do with, we had to die to a part of our life, which is get rid of our beloved pets in order to move into our apartment where they didn't accept, but what she got in return was kids, right? Now we have dogs and cats and all that again, but all this time later, she went through a very long season of being heartbroken. She was down in the dumps. She loved those pets like they were her children. She called them her children. Once upon a time, she was so close to her cat and my dogs. And so it's like, I'm a big animal lover. So it's like, the moral of the story is that rebirth came after a dark season. A dark season was something that we didn't want to happen, filled with anxiety and fear. You take yourself there in your mind. You have to make hard decisions. You don't want to, but you don't know the future. The future is untold at this point. So it's like, at this point, you feel like your world is crumbling down. You're giving up your beloved, connections of what brings happiness to you, and you don't know that the future holds any children or any new dogs or anything. You're living by what? Faith, hope, and love. So it's like, everything turned out, if you fast forward the tapes, it's like beautiful. Like, a big backyard we have now, a house, it's like a beautiful family, the whole thing. But once upon a time, everything was very uncertain, and everything was on a whim. And there was just like those bold steps of just believing that if it's going to work out, it did work out. A lot of this worry, anxiety, fear, and all this stuff that plays a role is just the devil throwing a wrench in the system of what he knows is going to come to pass, but he doesn't want you to believe it. So it's like, what are you coming in agreement with? Are you coming in agreement with the devil and holding on to things that God is saying, give to me? Or are you holding on, or is God, moving you from a season? It could be a friend, it could be a sibling that God is trying to take out of your life. They're toxic, and God's moving you to a new level. And it's very hard to move to a different atmosphere, a different place in your life when people are staying in their old self. They don't want to change. They want to continue. You want to change, but You feel bad because you have connections, you have history with this person. And guess what? You can't flip the page unless you do that very hard thing, which is cut loose, break loose, and go to your next, where God is bringing you, your destiny. So it's like beauty is waiting for us, but I just feel called to talk about, like, don't come in agreement with what the devil's saying about your future. You must rebuke it. So whatever he's saying that's going to happen to you or your family or this or that, he does it to everybody, by the way. Not just you. He knows your weaknesses. He knows what terrifies you. He knows your fears. And he uses it against you. And so it's like he tries to get you to fear that. And guess what? Fear is somewhat like faith, because fear attracts that of which you don't want to happen. But you meditate on it so much, you think about it so much, you dread it so much, and you're actually using faith in bringing it towards you, but it's fear that you don't want it to happen. There was a guy that he really dreaded a cockroach coming into his ear. For whatever reason, this guy was absolutely terrified of cockroaches, and he dreaded that while he was sleeping, that a cockroach would come into his ear. Well, guess what? You guessed it. The impossible, 1 out of a zillion, happened to the guy. And it's like he went to the ER and he was terrified and this and that. Whatever the point is that cockroach had entered into his ear. It's like, what? Like, it doesn't happen, but it did happen because he attracted it with his fear. So the point here that I feel like God wants to tell people is, like, you must resist that of which you don't want in your life. Don't meditate on it. Don't think about it. Shun it. Destroy it with your challenge against it. You challenge those things. Say, no, it will not happen. I rebuke that. I reject that. That will not happen. I prophesy. And then you prophesy what you want to happen. And you stand on that. And you have faith, hope, and love. Let's end the video there so that it can be nice, short, and simple. But yeah, again, give up those things that God is saying give up, because I just feel like there's some things that people are holding on to that is just affiliated with the wrong source. And if you want to go to a different level in your life, you're going to have to let go of those things of the past. For some people, it's material things that your ex gave you or a family member gave you. There's cursed items out there that hold, the demons are in it, and they just, when you get rid of it, good things start to flow again. But as long as you hold on to it, bad things continue, and just get rid of it. And if you don't know, if you have any, then just ask God, God, is there anything that I own that is bad, that you don't want me to have? He will show you. And then just be obedient and get rid of it, and then just ask for forgiveness. Ask for forgiveness so that you can break that flow of that thing coming into your life. All these things will change your life. There's many things to go over, but let's just keep this one nice, short, and simple. God bless you guys.